Hey, what's up, wrestling fans? It is January 2013, and it's the rumors are starting to rumble. What's going to happen in the 2013 Hall of Fame? I can't wait. I wanna find out right now who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm marking out hard. So I went and devised three lists of who I think might potentially be in the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Traditionally, I think it's between 5 and 6 regular superstars, male superstars, with one headliner. An example would be, a Shawn Michaels or a Hulk Hogan. And then there's a tag team, and then there's a diva, and then there's also a celebrity. So, it's kind of mixed in between there. I'm not really good at picking celebrity candidates because I would not have chose Drew Carey. I would have chose Bob Barker's fine. This year, I think I would choose Mr. T. But other than that, I'm not really good at choosing celebrity candidates. Who knows? Snooki, Maria Menounos, who cares? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. I have an A, B, and C list. A list is my dream inductees that year. So I'm going to do my C list first. And these aren't any, less of superstars and divas than anybody else, but it's just the list I wrote. For my C list, number 1, Lita. That's a hardcore diva right there. D-Generation X. This would be including every D-Generation X superstar, which would be, or member rather, which would make HBK the second person after Ric Flair to be inducted twice in the Hall of Fame. Very deserving. It'd be Triple H, Road Dogg Jesse James, Badass Billy Gunn, X-Pac, and you could even include Ravishing Rude and China. The Rock, obviously, he's a no-brainer. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame eventually. I don't know if it'll necessarily be 2013. It'll probably be a few years. Tommy Dreamer. That's a great ECW superstar alum. He might even be interchangeable with the Raven if he can get, anyway, Raven or Sandman. But I think Tommy Dreamer is a good candidate to be in the Hall of Fame. Bull Nakano, one of my all-time favorite diva, if you want to call her diva, lady wrestlers. I think that's a good chance. You never know. And finally, JBL for regular superstars. JBL is a great champion. He's awesome on the mic, and he's a good current friend of WWE. For tag team, I picked the Nasty Boys. Brian Knobbs and Jay Skaggs. My bad. I don't know if this is necessarily going to happen because they're best friends with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's kind of on the outs with WWE, but, whatever. But I think Nasty Boys eventually. For my B list, the diva would be Trish Stratus. What a wonderful diva. She is the perfect blend of athleticism and beauty, and she is a wonderful diva, one of the best overall divas in history. For a headliner for that year, I think would be Undertaker. Now, this probably won't be inducted this year, but I think he'll definitely be a headliner eventually. Mick Foley, he's been talked about a lot lately. He would be a headliner, I think, for this year. Yeah. Another potential lady wrestler, I think, would be Medusa, a.k.a. Alundra Blaze, a.k.a. Deborah Michelli, or Michelli, I think it's Michelli. Possible celebrity inductee, Snooki. And tag team of the year, the Bushwhackers. I know what you're saying, the Bushwhackers, but you know what? Bushwhackers were an awesome tag team. They've been wrestling for like 40 years. They put on a heck of a show. Hell, they were on Family Matters. Come on, Family Matters. And also, this, I think, eventually is going to happen. It may not happen this year, but the NWO. Especially with the re-release or the new release of the NWO DVD and Blu-ray that just came out, I think it's a no-brainer that eventually they will be inducted in the Hall of Fame. With Hulk Hogan, I don't know, because he's with the Rival. But this would make Hulk Hogan a second-time inductee. And, Hulk Hogan is pro wrestling. I know a lot of people don't like him. They say they don't like him, but at one time you loved him, so don't lie. Alright, so this is my A list. This is the list I think absolutely deserves to be in there without a doubt. I'm going to start with Mr. T. I've said him already today, but Mr. T is definitely, I think, the celebrity candidate that could be inducted. For tag team, I'm picking Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Stevie Ray. Hands down, one of the most dominant tag teams in WCW of all time. These guys were great. They wrestled all over the world, and they are a wonderful tag team. They both do excellent commentary. Remember Stevie Ray on Nitro? He did a good job. I don't care. Booker T's great. He's still a friend of the WWE. He's still an active member. He's seen weekly as general manager. I think Harlem Heat should get inducted in the Hall of Fame. For my next inductee, he definitely needs to be in there, and that's Ravishing Rick Rude. I already mentioned him with DX, but Ravishing Rick Rude is one of the most underrated superstars in history. Phenomenal talent. All you Mississippi sweat hogs need to know that Ravishing Rick Rude should be in the Hall of Fame. This might throw you for a loop, but the best big man in the history of wrestling is probably Bam Bam Bigelow. And I also think, along with him, Luna Vachon should be inducted. And obviously, some of these people have passed away, but friends and family can induct him. Bam Bam Bigelow, phenomenal talent, phenomenal. Luna Vachon, she's incredibly memorable. She can hold her own. She comes from one of the best lineages in the wrestling family. I think that's a no-brainer right there. Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon. For an alternate you could either put them in separately or together, the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid. If you look at some of their matches, they were ahead of the game at the time. Dynamite Kid is considered one of the most respected talents in history, and he's had some issues, and obviously Davey Boy Smith has passed away. But these two guys were an extreme tag team together. Separately, they did very well. British Bulldog suffered. They both have kind of a cursed team. They both have suffered some really tragic things happening. And then this is a guy I want in the Hall of Fame so bad, and that's Owen Hart, the Black Heart. You may know him by other names, but Owen Hart is hands down one of the most deserving superstars in history. I got his wife's book right here. I read it in a couple days, and it's a tragic event that happened to him, and he's one of the most underrated talents in the history of wrestling. You could ask any wrestler that was around him, and they'll not say a bad thing about him, except maybe he played too many jokes too often. But they loved his jokes, according to what I've read, according to interviews I've read about him and watched. His talent is just phenomenal. I dare you to find a bad match Owen Hart had. And finally, my headliner for 2013 should be Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, there's a lot of controversy marred with him and Vince McMahon not getting along, and also with Lanny Poffo and wanting to get the whole Savage family inducted, the whole Poffo family inducted, and that's really keeping Macho Man from being inducted. And I don't. It's kind of I don't whatever, but Macho Man needs to be inducted 100%. He was just an incredible talent. Basically, it's everything you could say about an Owen Hart, you could say about a Randy Savage. Randy Savage is just a pure talented individual, taken before his time, just like Owen, just like Ravishing Rick Rude. These guys were just talented individuals who were captivating. And when I think of wrestling, I think of guys like that. I think of guys like Bam Bam Bigelow, and I don't know. Let me know what you think about my list. Let me know if you think you have a better candidate. Definitely appreciate you guys watching my videos. And as we get closer and closer, when they do announce who's going to be in it, I might make a response video what I think about that person getting in. Appreciate you watching once again, and let me know what you think. Have a great day.